2 weeks ago, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to make daylight saving time permanent, thus ending twice-per-year clock changes. I have a few thoughts. The idea of shifting the clock seasonally was first seriously proposed by Englishman William Willett in a 1907 pamphlet called The Waste of Daylight. But a bill based on his idea couldn't get past Parliament. Germany and Austria were the first countries to adopt it nationwide 2 years into World War I, turning their clocks ahead 1 hour in late April of 1916. The U.S. followed in 1918 when Congress passed an act to save daylight and to provide standard time. But it wasn't popular. So after World War I, standard time returned in the U.S. But during World War II, President Roosevelt brought daylight saving time back year-round. It was called wartime and was used for more than 3 years. After the war, each state chose whether to keep it or not, and as you can imagine, that led to confusion, especially in the broadcast and travel industries. So in 1966, Congress mandated that daylight saving time start on the last Sunday in April and end on the last Sunday of October. The current model of using DST from the second Sunday of March to the first Sunday of November began in 2007. About 70 countries use daylight saving time. In Europe, it's simply called summertime. Now, the original rationale for daylight saving time was that it saved energy, but studies have been generally mixed with respect to that premise. Farmers generally oppose daylight saving time because it disrupts their schedules, while retailers, especially those in sports and recreation, generally favor it. So what would year-round daylight saving time look like? Well, here's when sunrise and sunset would occur in central Pennsylvania on a few dates in the cold season. Sunrises would be as late as 8:35 a.m. and would be after 8 a.m. for 3 months, from the middle of November to the middle of February. But sunset would never be earlier than about 5:45 p.m. And in the dead of winter, late January, the sun would actually set around 6:30 p.m. I have two perhaps overlooked observations about the issue. First, the U.S. tried permanent daylight saving time before in 1974, but it was so unpopular that Congress reversed the decision later that year. Second, one objection to changing the clocks twice a year is the subsequent disruption caused by that abrupt shift of an hour. But consider that more than 3 million people fly in U.S. airspace each day on average, and many of those flights cross time zones. So tens of millions of Americans each year go through abrupt clock changes, and somehow we make it work. Now, that's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but the fact is many of us do change our clocks a lot more than twice a year. This recent action by Congress might sound familiar. In 2022, the Senate passed a bill making daylight saving time permanent, but the House never considered it. This time, the House has acted first. If I had to guess, this time, the Senate won't act on the bill. We'll be back in a moment with more.